This is a video on the cartoon art of animator Chris Sanders. I refer to the art, and I'll explain why, as pedophile cartoon porn. The reason for that is that I think the images he creates would only appeal to pedophiles. But why even make a video of this? Well, first of all, let me say this is a critique of the art. I do not know Mr. Sanders. I have no opinion of him, no ill will or malice. I know nothing about him. Why should you care? Well, Chris Sanders is a major player in the animation world. If you go to see movies by DreamWorks or Disney, it's very possible that you're seeing movies that he has been involved with. If you go to a comic convention or an animation convention, you may see him. He may be a speaker. I think it's worth having a conversation about the pedophile cartoon porn that is being created and sold by him. In my opinion, it's pedophile cartoon porn. And to raise questions about the involvement of Disney and DreamWorks and any other studios with this artist. All right, so let's see what I'm talking about. These are some images produced by Chris Sanders. As you can see, most of them are of prepubescent or young adolescent girls in very sexually suggestive poses. So you can see that's by Chris Sanders. And there are a number of them. Now, of course, there's nothing illegal about this, and people can draw whatever they want. I'm not talking about censorship. What I'm talking about is knowledge. I don't think most people know that when they go to a movie where Chris Sanders has been involved as an animator, that he is producing this art that could have no other purpose, in my opinion, except for the titillation of pedophiles. Why would anyone draw prepubescent girls in sexually suggestive poses, and who would buy it? Well, let's talk about who would buy it. There's a website called Stuart Ing Books. Let's go to that. Stuart Ing Books. And they are a big distributor of his stuff. And you can see his sketchbooks go for an enormous sum. But presumably someone is buying this and paying this price. You'd have to ask the bookseller to talk to the clients to find out. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe there are reasons to be interested in this. Maybe it appeals to people for some other reason. But if we just look at this cover here of this sketchbook, this appears to me to be maybe a 7-year-old girl. But you notice he always makes the breasts large, so it's like adult breasts being put on a child. And there are a number of sketchbooks that are available for him of a similar type. Now, there are artists, cartoonists, who have portrayed young girls in a nude way, and the issue I'm raising is not one of nudity, it's one of exploitation, of trying to portray young girls in sexually suggestive poses. Fred Moore is a Disney artist. Let's see, here he is. He's died. This was probably back, I don't know, the 1940s. And he was known for his portrayals of girls. However, I don't have a problem with this. I think it has a certain sense of innocence and a real refinement of style. There is a bashfulness that is being expressed here. It's not exploiting her. It's not creating the impression that a little girl is a sexual object. And that's what I'm objecting to with Chris Ware's work. I just want to look at another cartoonist. This is Wally Wood, who probably is one of the greatest cartoonists ever. And unfortunately, he has passed away in I think the 1980s. He created this character, Nudine. Again, no problem with this. It's a little elf-like character, and there is nothing titillating or salacious about it. One can take it or leave it. Here a larger picture is of that character. But let's go back to Chris Sanders. Now that you've seen Fred Moore and Wally Wood, you can see the images he creates are completely different. They're full frontal, clearly, in my opinion, adolescent girls with large breasts. And there could be no reason to be purchasing this stuff without the underlying desire of being titillated over the exploitation of a child being represented as a sexual object. I mean, that's how I view it. So there we have Chris Sanders again, and this is a site that talks about some of his work with Disney. If you go to the movie How to Train Your Dragon, The Croods, or Lilo and Stitch, these are things he's apparently been involved with. And you might want to consider whether you should register a concern with Disney or DreamWorks that there is an animator who is producing work for sale that appears to portray little girls as sexual fetish objects. This is all my opinion. It's my analysis of the art, and that's my purpose, to analyze the art. I have never found any discussion or criticism of the art, and I'm willing to entertain other views. This is just my view.